Hello, and welcome to the Light Language channel. My name's Charlie. I'm an Akashic Record reader, among other things. And today I kind of just want to ask my own guides and whoever it is that wants to come through questions about perimenopause, because that's what I'm in like the throes of myself. And I'm 38 years old. I kind of didn't think that this would be a thing that would really start hitting me with full force until I hit my 40s. Honestly, didn't really learn a whole lot about perimenopause in general. I always just had you got the baby making like window and then you're menopausal, and that's very not helpful, right? Nor is it accurate at all. So I just kind of wanted to check in and see if anything in particular would be helpful for me, for you. I don't really see a lot of conversations in spiritual spaces around body changes that we are just also always going through. It kind of feels like everything is under the umbrella of, well, it's a spiritual awakening, it's an initiation process, it's a this, it's a that. And it's like, when you got a bunch of estrogen and progesterone doing a bunch of things in your brain, you also have a lot of other things that are going on. Can we stop just taking the male perspective on everything, please? Please. Just saying. I'm just saying. Even with a lot of like female intuitives and everything. Also, not just the galactic perspective on everything, right? Do y'all deal with anything like perimenopause? I'm asking Arcturians right now. We will not be part of this conversation. We will have other things later. See what I mean? Galactics don't want to talk about this, at least not to me. This is more of a conversation with Gaia. This is more of a conversation with Gaia, with your body, with your guides. And I'm just kind of, I'm not angry. I'm a little angry. I'm a little angry because I spent November and December having the most intense fucking visions of death, like future projected visions, like other potential timelines, just death visions. And like that's a symptom. That's a symptom of perimenopause. It's a symptom of menopause. It's a very common symptom of any kind of major hormonal fluctuations. Visions of death, postpartum depression, that's what that is. It's visions of death. It's visions of thinking and feeling into and sort of believing these things that come through your thoughts. And it, it's not really something that I ever anticipated being a part of a spiritual journey too. But ever since learning to read Akashic records, things inside of my mind are so much more vivid. And not only are they vivid, but I know how to ask questions, big, deep questions, especially exploring into why am I having this? What's going on? Where is it coming from? And I don't always get answers to the why am I having this, which is so fucking frustrating because it's a process and because you have to go through the things you have to go through. And the visions themselves really, really acted as a very, very effective emotional purging of things. Like, let me tell you, when you genuinely think that your spouse of 20 years is about to die, you just start getting real about how you feel about them, about your relationship, about just the transition of life in general, about your own death, of just you just have to deal with it. And that's helpful. Truly, it is once you get on the other side of it and it's no longer plaguing you on a daily fucking basis. But also, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're drenched in sweat, and what's coming in is just all of this information that is just download, 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 it's overwhelming. And it makes you feel like you have no one to talk to, nowhere really to turn, because anyone in your life is probably just going to say, well, you're fucking crazy. Congratulations, you've hit the crazy train. And it's like, that's not that's not a helpful thing to say. It's not a helpful way to be. Um, and I'm not just, yeah, okay. I could go into a million different like rants and tangents because during all of this and during all of the really intense things, I also have been very alone. My only friend in my physical reality is my husband. I have some friends online, but I think we can all agree that we keep a certain level of distance with that kind of an interaction. We're not trying to. It's just it's very hard when you're not in the same room feeling the central nervous system of a person that you're with. And friends that I have had for many, many years, like I spent all of that snake year was them being done with me, because I've not been really slamming doors on people with new people, yes, but not with people who I've been in relationships with. I've had door slams on me though by everyone I've known with the exception of my husband. um and so that's also been like coming to the surface a lot and coming forward a lot, and just all of these really big emotional, why can't I just let this go? I actively choose it. I do little rituals. Like I do all of the things, and they still just kind of come out and they kind of come around. And I mention just perimenopause to anyone in their mid to late 30s with a uterus who also maybe has started having just more intense things. Yes, it absolutely could be tied to your spiritual awakening. It likely, obviously, is, because we're all doing this in a very specifically timed way. You came in at a very specific time to have certain experiences at a very specific like trajectory, both for the collective and for yourself. And also, you need spaces. You need places where you can feel seen and feel heard when it gets really, really challenging. And honestly, having just the awareness of perimenopause, especially as I looked into the symptoms more, especially as I got more comfortable just with the, oh, right. And then like looking even just the perimenopause subreddit. I haven't seen spiritual conversations on there, and honestly, I'm really grateful for it. I'm kind of tired of having spiritual conversations with that being the only thing that anyone I'm finding is talking about, because that's not the only thing happening in my life. Yes, I talk to guides, and I'm getting this sort of like personal, like ranty, like there out of the way, so that I can get Gaia in here and channel her through and be like, Gaia, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell me about this in November? Although I fully fucking know, but also, why the fuck did I have to wait until now? Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. I get angry at my guides sometimes. But I have been craving spaces that don't talk about spiritual shit, that don't talk about channeling, that don't talk about all of this stuff, because I've honestly had a time with this. I've been on the receiving end of a lot of really cruel people and experiences, and miraculous ones too, really fantastic ones. And I keep seeking new experiences because of that. Like I just signed up for my second women's circle. My first one was last month. It was to like honor the solstice, and it was so perfect. It was just perfect. It wasn't this big anything. It was just a perfect couple of hours with women I didn't know, and I just felt okay. It's been a while for me to have a space like that. So I'm still actively seeking these spaces and these containers. And also, yeah, bodies are changing in a big way, and they're changing on these light, yes, light activations, light codes things. But for many, many, many of us, especially my fellow millennials, hi, it's not just baby making years and menopause like I was taught, including when I tried to have kids. I spent the age of 12 to 24 doing everything that I possibly could to learn how to be a good parent. I knew I didn't have good like examples of anything. And so actively did everything I possibly could to unlearn the bad, learn the good, got degrees in sociology and psychology, literally just so that I could be a good parent. That's the only reason. That was the only fucking reason. Studied child development, studied trauma, studied just all of the things. Worked in a preschool, worked in a Sunday school before the preschool, because I was like, okay, I just need to surround myself with like child development experts, with the entirety of it being, okay, get expert on pregnancy and early childhood. And then by the time we get to babies born, shift to, all right, childhood, and then like your changing body, like, as the person postpartum and like all of that. And then by the time they get to teenagers, shift to that, right? Well, we never had kids successfully. Got pregnant plenty of times. Body was like, fuck that, no, because there was just too much going on in here, too much trauma, too much just everything. Every single pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. And there were quite a few after a decade of trying. That trauma is still, yep, I'm feeling it now. Yep, still got that shit to work through. So that's a fun, that's like a fun little, like, you can see the trauma package in the distance, and you're like, when are you gonna come out? And everything in your body's like, don't worry about it. And you're like, cool, great. I look forward to whatever that is that I'll unlock, but it's fine. You'll deal with it when you deal with it, right? But everything I learned, and I learned a lot, everything was basically like, all right, pregnancy, 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 you're fertile until this time, and then menopause, and that's it. Just menopause. You don't have a period for a year, menopause. And there's changes, and you lose bone density, and you're a crone. Blah. What the fuck? No, that's not how it works. It's just usually when you do start perimenopause, it typically doesn't start until your 40s unless you've had significant early childhood trauma and your body and telomeres are aged, in which case your mid 30s is probably when it's going to actually start. That's when it started for me. I'm on year 3 of symptoms. I kind of ignored the first couple of years because you could easily put the like, well, sometimes hot flashes and sometimes weakness and sometimes this and sometimes that and sometimes irregularities and sometimes you can write it off, right? You can write it off as any number of things, diet changes, stress, COVID, like there's just a billion fucking things that it can be, right? So didn't really start understanding it until about 6 weeks worth of deep, intense death visions. So if you're having death visions and you think that you might be predicting the future, you very well could be. And also, it could very easily be a perimenopause symptom. Yeah. Or just a hormonal fluctuation symptom. Entirely possible. Entirely possible, especially if you have more recently done learning of some sort of intuitive gift situation. My only experience is with Akashic record reading and then getting into mediumship a little bit. I can't really speak to someone who's doing, tarot or crystals or just sort of any of the other realms of things. But you read Akashic records and you keep reading Akashic records, everything inside, every bit of information that comes into you does get more vivid. So, and truly, your intrusive thoughts, they get much richer. They get much more texture to them. They're much more believable. And that's kind of why I'm talking about this right now because I'm angry. I'm angry that I did not consider it. I'm angry that I didn't know that death visions are a symptom of fucking perimenopause. And I guess menopause, I haven't gotten that far yet. I haven't. I'm too angry about the perimenopause, like inability to know that that's what's happening. Um, and yeah, I know. It's fine. Like I've got my guides all around me. It feels like they're kind of chuckling. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I know that we're kept in the dark until we absolutely need to know something because it's in our highest good to just work through it and deal with it and ugh. I never believed the visions. And also when you have them daily and they just keep persisting and you ask questions and you get answers like, uh-huh, yeah, you feel crazy and you don't know what to do with it or where to go with it or who to talk to about it. Truly. Even if you feel like you can talk to someone about it. I started talking to my husband about it because I was like, look, I'm having visions of your death. And he's like, well, that's not fun. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. That's not fun. Unfortunately, because of how big of a not in this world person he is, he never believed it. Although he did apparently on Christmas when one thing like he did. So my vision was very specific. It was on Christmas. He would die on Christmas. I actually now really appreciate the specificity of it because something being super, super, super specific, at least in my experience, is my way of knowing it's fiction. It's creative fiction designed to get your emotional responses and body based like things turned on. so that your body can do some cleansing and some clearing. Awareness is the way in which you get through something, it's the way you process things. It sucks, but sometimes having some sort of fiction outlet is way more helpful to process things. It's literally why we watch movies knowing it's going to make us cry. You need to cry. You need a safe outlet to do it. So you watch a movie where you feel something, and that allows for that activation process to happen. And now you don't have to really sit there and fucking think about why you're crying. You don't have to pull the actual experiences out of you. No, you can just fucking cry. This past like Christmas time, I had been working on past life shit. I had been working on just that whole Dark Night of the Soul shit. I like just all the shadows, right? And my safest vehicle for that was apparently this just constant vision that my husband was going to die on Christmas. One, because it's super sad and poetic. Two, because we were separate for Christmas. Three, because it also brought up all of the like feelings about our marriage and about just how things have been so stressful. Like this last year, we've been through so much as a couple, but this last year has broken us, like truly. We are officially in like we're friends and we really do care about each other and we think that our relationship is going to keep going, and also we're kind of just surviving life together right now, and we'll reassess once maybe we have financial stability or you know just something working for us. That's kind of where we are. That's how bad this year has been. Ah, so it makes sense to have all of those things just sort of coming up and coming into my awareness because they brought with them all of this stuff that I still needed to process. And it wasn't stuff that I think I was capable of processing just due to lack of memories of it, lack of it being in this lifetime. I'm telling you, y'all, past life regression shit, it happens. And sometimes it happens fairly spontaneously. If you're doing this work, yeah, you might stumble right on into some past life regression shit for yourself. Very easy to do. Very, very easy to do, especially if you keep taking classes and you keep showing up to mystery schools and you keep like, what do you think you're doing in those? You know? I did a womb activation thing with Kelly Kolodny and initiation with Lee Harris. What do you think those things do for you? You don't spend 4 weeks just listening to people that you like, tell you things that you basically already know. You're there to work and you're there to pull shit out and you're there to be in community in as safe and like at home of a way as you can. Does it even more so if you go in person to one of those conferences? Seriously. Like you have full big integration events for weeks after, years after, depending on what's going on. Um, I've gotten off on a completely different level of tangent. I'm just sort of checking in. We will provide in a moment. You're not quite there. Okay. So I am also sick. I have some sort of viral infection. I'm told it's the flu. I just stay home and drink my water. Um, and getting to a level of being able to channel while sick is it's a challenge. It takes a little bit of like bridging into it, right? A little bit of time, a little bit of get some of the other stuff out of the way, um, and we'll pass it through almost. So, what I want to know is, how are you doing? How is your spiritual awakening going? How is it feeling physically? Is there anything that's going on with you that might have other explanations and might give you an opportunity to kind of just take a breather, you know? Because the continued spiritual content journey is helpful for a bit, but at times you really do need to ease off of the gas pedal on that one and refocus on some of your human shit. Like, truly, the awareness of perimenopause waited until January 1st, 2026 for me. End of the day. And just like every other awareness realization experience that I've ever had, it all just came crashing in at once where I was like, motherfucker. Of course it is. Of course it is. And yes, I know I haven't talked to my doctor yet, but you know what I know how to do? I know how to look at symptoms and look at my life and go, okay, if I package this and hand it to the person with the degree, they're going to say the same thing. Cool. And then they're going to write me some fucking prescription I don't want. Cool. Um, because that's also where I am. I'm not taking other people's assessments of this. I'm just kind of sitting with it and allowing myself to sit in the reality where this is what's been going on. Is it possible it's something else? Sure. Sure. This just also makes the most sense. And also, this is exactly where I've been various points in my life with basically everything that I then later got diagnosed 100% of the time. It's just trusting your own self and trusting your own intuition and trusting the signs that sort of led you there too. I just really, oh, okay, sorry. The one, I got off tangent. The one moment that my husband did believe was on Christmas Day when he and his family went to dinner. He briefly started choking on his food. He told me when he got home, he was like, he's like, I started choking. And all I could think was, no, not like this. She can't be right and it can't be like this. I was like, uh, uh. So I don't know. Maybe we did like subvert some like potential death scenario that he did have laid out for himself. I don't know. It's possible. He did start choking. He didn't need to be Heimlich or anything. I don't think that it actually was. But it's always really satisfying when you have a partner who's like not in this world at all. And yeah, you share things with them because you're like, I just need to. I can't keep it to myself and my journal and like there's no one else I can talk to about this. Like I have to at least share it with you because I'm scared. Um Only for them to then be like, I was a little worried actually. It didn't last long and I was fine. I ate much slower after that. He took smaller bites for the rest of his meal. And I was like, good. I'm glad that you changed your behavior based on information I gave you. And the fact that because he didn't even like choke, he just got like a little bit like, ugh, and was like, oh shit, I need to pay attention to my meals. He's got an inattentive ADHD brain. He doesn't tend to pay attention to things. Uh, See, now I'm thinking that I actually did like help him not choke on his dinner. Okay, all right. Uh, so I'm achy and I'm sore, and this is not going to be a very long message. Because I'm sick. I don't feel good. Sorry. But if you're watching my content, you are perfectly capable of having these conversations with Gaia too. Please do. I really hope you do. I really hope that anything you're seeing me do, you're like, oh yeah, I want to talk to them too. Talk. See what comes through because you might think it's just your own thoughts and it might be Gaia. She sounds exactly like you. Yeah, it's kind of freaky actually. It kind of freaks you out because it could be Gaia, it could be your body. That's such a good conversation to have. And writing is the easiest way to do that. Just talk to your body and then write whatever feels like it wants to come out. Talk to your body, write what feels like it wants to come out. The more metaphorical, the more you know you're kind of tapped into an Akashic line because Akashic Records stuff tends to be a bit more metaphor, a bit more flowy. If it's more direct and sounds more like a friend that's willing to have hard conversations with you, that's a direct line. That's how you know it's direct body. The first way I knew, my body called me a bitch because I wasn't. So it was like it basically wrote like a friend who didn't have much time to talk and was just like, "You need to fucking slow down, you bitch. I love you." That was what came through. Um, that's how I notice. Akashic realm, a little bit more flowery, a little bit more metaphorical, a little bit more like big picture stuff. Direct body. Gaia, she blends the two. So sometimes very metaphorical, sometimes very direct. And when you channel her, it gets more direct because you're kind of activating your own body resonance with hers. And so you kind of go from like walking life like this to getting more in sync in general with her. but the pacing of what comes out when she delivers information. Is that good? That works. Okay. So this is, I was just asking Gaia, like, or I wanted to ask Gaia. She's right here. She's right. She's going to pop in just a second. Gaia, I want to know what information is in my highest good to know when it comes to perimenopause, especially as I'm kind of in the now, like, thick of it. What advice, Gaia? What advice do you have for perimenopause to just help me feel okay and preferably to squash the death visions? Sorry, she just told me you can't squash the death visions. They have a use. Don't worry, they won't be coming for another cycle. What cycle? 2 moons. You will experience more. Do not fear. They are a part of your circuitry. Okay. Thanks. Okay, but for others, what can you tell us? The changes that you experience when you share a portal are much more grand and much more varied than any one explanation can provide. What you experience as symptoms are pieces of your lived experience becoming available for you. I'm going to slow down so that you may speak more. Okay. The flu. I cannot channel well when I have the flu. I just heard this is by design. Yeah, because that's the thing too. You channel a bunch, and your body's still going through a lot of changes and a lot of hormonal changes. Um, you have to be okay with the fact that how you operate is also going to be in flux a little bit. You've always been able to hear a very specific way of channeling. Guess what, my friend? For a few months, you might be completely, it just might be radio silence because it means that you need to learn how to connect into other channels inside of you. You have a lot more capacity to tune into things than you know, and you don't want to just rely heavily on the one. You have a whole team. You have an entire system of support that's part of your operating package. It's part of being a human, right? Sometimes those lines go offline, those those channels go offline so that you can integrate and find yourself without the noise. Kind of the main message. If you're experiencing heightened levels of symptoms of exhaustion, of irritability, of I just fucking can't, severe depression symptoms, the kinds of visions that terrify you, those are times to truly find resources that will fill you back up. Depends entirely on your own personal lived experience. I can't tell anybody one specific thing. I'm a big proponent of finding a therapist, yes. Just also being therapy aware when you do, so that you know that you're the person who's hiring them to help you. You walk in with what you want to be discussing, and you appreciate that you're there for 1% of your week. So what they offer you to do as homework, especially with somatic experiencing, is so that you can build those connections. Somatic work is the need for everyone right now, for real. Body-based work. That's the need. That's the biggest need. And the more things feel like they're spinning out, the more that feels like it's changing. Body, turn to body and uncover what's going on. And if there's something you want to do with that, if there's something you want to do with that that involves a doctor and medication and other things, you feel drawn to that, go do it. Don't listen to another person who doesn't do that and go, well, I kind of agree with some of the things you say, so no, you got to find what feels correct for you. I have very specific reasons why I've been working with my own guides and intuition. I'm also not afraid to be a complete failure at everything that I do, including something like that. Yeah, maybe I'm the kind of person who will completely miss the fact that I have cancer because I refuse to go back to a doctor. Maybe. That's entirely possible. Oh well, came here to do that research apparently. But if you're experiencing things that are concerning, keep asking yourself why with help. We will show you. We will always be able to show you. It just also will take time. And I'm getting 6 weeks. And even looking back at my most recent experiences, I had a lot of physical symptoms of perimenopause this whole year. A lot of them. Um, the hot flashes, the just uh, the sleep disturbances. But then everyone in the spiritual community says sleep disturbances, right? The Just way TMI, but yeah, vaginal dryness. Yep, that's not fun. Period irregularities, which I've always been very regular. Only times that period was delayed was because of a pregnancy and then a subsequent fucking miscarriage. And so now, every time there is a delay in pregnancy, guess what I get to re-experience? The feelings of, oh, am I pregnant? Is it possible? Everything is really painful, and I do have all of the symptoms because, yes, of course, every single thing with hormone fluctuations feels the same. Is it pregnancy? Is it perimenopause? Honestly, could be the same. Like that's legit, right? Yeah. I literally did delete my period app and I'm just writing it on the Google Calendar when it happens, because the period app will be like, your period is supposed to be this long. Oh no, your period's late. It's like, bro, my period is on a different cycle than whatever your algorithm thinks it needs to be. Okay? My body's doing its thing. I'm gonna let it do its thing, and I'm just gonna hold on for dear fucking life when it does its thing in a direction that is deeply, deeply psychologically painful. But also, I might have prevented my husband's death on Christmas. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, the irritability and mood swings. Oh, yeah. This last year, I've been like, I've asked so many times if we've created another altar in here. Oh my God, I've asked so many times. I'm just like, trauma does create it, and I keep getting reassurances. They're like, not like that. Like you are channeling in fractals to assist with work that I'm here to do, but not in a way that's like that. No, it's just, yeah, estrogen and progesterone have they do a fantastic job of making everything the worst and making it so that your capacity for perspective shift out of it. You're strapped in. Like you're fucking strapped in to the progesterone train and you just can't get off until it's ready for you to get off. And yeah, your partner of 20 years might become the person who irritates you beyond anything you ever thought possible. Totally possible. Totally can be a thing. That's why all of the work that you have done prior to perimenopause about repair work to relationships, about perspective shifts when you can, and also just about seeing things truly, because it gives you an opportunity to have a perspective of pure fucking irritation in a way that's maybe you haven't experienced it for a while. Maybe it's just a really helpful way to see that you're kind of a bitch. I'm kind of a bitch sometimes. Also means I know how to stay away from people so I don't cause harm. when I'm feeling particularly bitchy. I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of solo hobbies. Helpful. It's very helpful. Um, and yeah, that's just part of being a human, man. Sometimes you're just shitty. Not a single one of us that isn't sometimes a complete asshole. Not when we're pushed to an extreme. If you've never been an asshole, then wow, you have got the absolute, absolute lock on a life of support from everyone around you and a lot of internal resilience to just life. The real key is how you treat yourself and how you treat others, not necessarily how you feel all the time. Not all the time, but some of the time. All right, Gaia, is there anything else in particular that would be helpful to end this with? It is why we choose the plant lifestyle for you. Helps with regulation. Yep, I knew body wanted me to eat plants. I also had like my, yeah, does it really like is that really a necessity for channeling Gaia? And Gaia's like, it's not a necessity, but it is a necessity for you. I was like, God damn it. One of those like it's not a complete necessity, but this and it's not like it's a requirement, but it's very much a we want you on this path. You have decided to be on this path of channeling her, right? This path of being one of those voices. There's going to be so many more of us in the coming years. Like, y'all don't even know. There, speaking in Gaia is going to become a thing. It's going to become a thing. It's going to be very exciting because I call this Gaia, actually. People call it light language, so I do too. But in my opinion, based on what I've observed, this is energetic sign language of the body, providing its own translation of what it is that my voice is saying. I'm not the only one who uses my voice. I call it speaking in Gaia. Trademark today, January 2nd, 2026. Except without proper anything. I don't know, but I don't know if anyone else calls it that. But that's what it is to me. It's speaking in Gaia because our bodies are a fractal of Gaia. That's why she's so easy to talk to. She's built in. We all start talking to her when we get here. We just forget that we can. I mean, really, you basically have your own soul, your lineages, mainly the people that created you, and Gaia. That's who you've got. That's who you start with. Those are your starter Pokemon, right? In terms of you're here as a human. Oh, my head hurts and I have a fever and my throat hurts. Gaia, seriously, anything else? No, child. Be done. Okay. I'm just working because I have shit to do, you know? I have things to do. I have a Miriam's Quest to keep writing that I haven't really written because this week's been busy and I finally feel a little bit better and okay, I should probably stop. But main point is there's a lot more going on with your body that also has other names to things that we're already doing. And I, for one, got such a physical, like, oh, thank you, when I had the name for it, perimenopause. And then I just went on the perimenopause subreddit and just read some people's exchanges. I posted a comment. I don't ever post on Reddit. I never do that. Reddit scares the shit out of me. I don't like posting there. I get attacked. Regularly delete comments because people are fucking mean. But I felt safe to post there, and so I did. Well, I posted a comment, not post, and just read some other people's stuff and just felt the solidarity of changing bodies again, you know? And also super grateful that I'm not going through this while there's like a teenager in my home going through their changes. Oh my God. Those of you going through this while you have children that are going through hormonal changes of their own, just I'm just saying. I'm child free not by choice, but not totally unhappy about the fact that that's what happened. Okay? It took a long time to get here, but I'm here. Enjoy your war zones. Like Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna end this here, and thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Please go talk about your shit. Go talk about what's going on in your life to the people that you love. And you know what? Let them self-select out if they can't handle you. That was what last year taught me. It still hurts. I still carry those wounds, but fuck them. I'm so happy to be in 2026. I'm so happy to have something else to explain some of what's been going on for me, and I'm grateful that you're here too. So, if you're also in perimenopause, I'm sorry, and I don't know. I set up my TRX straps so that I could actually work out some, so that I could stop feeling so physically weak. That's what I'm doing. Not fighting back, just really deciding, like, okay, all right, all right, all right. So this shit makes me feel weak. No wonder. I'm at least gonna work out then. That's how I respond to that stuff. So that and join way more women's circles. So, actual final goodbye, because of course it was always a southern goodbye here. I will talk to you later. Or talk soon. Or whatever the fuck it is I end with, because I don't know. Brain fog is a thing too. It's not just because of the flu. Ah! Seriously though, I love you. We'll talk soon. Bye.